So you have ground to a halt over here again because you've run out of frames. Not unexpected. Well, we picked some up, so... And we're actually almost full in here, so let's pass them on. And we will also need some more industrial beams. So let's just take a couple of those out there. Stick those in there, put the rest in there. We'll worry about refilling our storage in a second. First, let's come down here. Also, you have finished by now, surely. Yes. I can't even remember how many of those we needed. I think it was like 150 or something, or 250. That was for research. We also have hard drives to look at. First things first, pipeline engineering Mark II. Not something we really need, but you never know.
Milestone reached. Pipelines and pipeline pumps can now be upgraded to Mark II. They are like Mark I, but better. Pipes seem to be objects of fascination to humans. In fact, there are recorded instances of humans doing nothing but thinking about pipes for hours.
Yeah, because they were playing this. Right, ma'am, you will have finished. What do we got here? Classic battery. So, previously a battery uses sulfuric acid and nitrogen, I think? Or is that aluminum? Not sure. In a blender to make that. This is better. Yeah, I like this. So, a classic battery, so it uses wire, plastic, some aluminum sheets, and sulfur. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to select that. I might not have a use for them, but... I mean, if I powered my drone off batteries, then I would be able to just free up that fuel on the other side entirely. Right, now, shatter rebar. Oh, I need some more quartz crystals again. I think I just put them away, didn't I? Yep. There we go. Shatter rebar. I'm not going to use it, but at least I'll know how to make it.
Shatter rebar unlocked. These quartz-infused rebars fracture when fired, launching deadly debris in a wide spread. Fix-It does not condone the use of such violent methods, so make sure there are no witnesses.
So the pod will return in 2 minutes. We can at least choose the last thing, and it is the last thing until we unlock phase 4, and that's conveyor belt Mark 5. And I think we can probably just clear this immediately as soon as it comes back. 780 resources per minute. Nice. Now, over here, you have finished. You have everything I need. In fact, you have more than enough, given that I am hoping to double this now. So let's pull this out. This is going to be so much power used, but what is our power usage like at the moment? So our max consumption is 5200. Our production is 5200 and something. But our consumption is significantly less because so many things are currently on standby. I mean, you would be using 550, but you seem to have finished, which is nice. So you would instead be producing... Oh, I mean, I need to produce this. But to produce that, I need to produce more of these. To produce those, I need to produce more of these. So, you know. Finally, a use for cable again. Let's put in some iron plates first. Where's my quartz crystals at? But maybe I don't want to produce them yet because I want to fire this up and I want to see how much power it uses when it's Somersloops. Well, one way to find out. So the idea is it ramps up. That makes sense. Looks cool. Noisy. And then it spins down again. Nope, spinning up again at the end. Oh, it's into the third coil now, the little one. I see, it goes from the big, medium to small. I would have thought it would go the other way around, but we should also probably put a container off the back here or something. Or down the side. Yeah, so 446 is the maximum. Good to know. And then what's it going to become with the Somersloops? Or is the game just going to crash because we're not supposed to do that? That would be funny. It's like everything explodes, you died. Okay. Finished one of them. 1786. Still operating at 0.2. Okay. Are we going to be fine? Oh, look at that jump. I think we've got the overhead. I think we're fine. It'll certainly help that we're not producing any more of a lot of these other things, though. For the nuclear pasta, it's a case of, do I want to double it or do I want it to go fast? I kind of want it to do both, but failing that, I do need to take a break, but I'm just waiting until this is finished so I can see whether or not I'm safe. So another 450 power will be consumed. I think we're good, actually. Yeah, no, we're well under. Okay, no, we're good. I'm just gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna take a break. Alright, so let's check this. Oh, we're back down again. So, no, we're actually almost at the top. Almost at peak power consumption. And we're not quite touching our capacity. So that's good. And in fact, it's ramping up at the time that our geothermal is also ramping up, so that's handy. There's some other fluctuations going on. So we do have batteries as well. I forget exactly. It would be nice if this gave a capacity. Not just a... Oh, there we go. Just had to click the button. 600 megawatts stored charge. Okay, and then it plummets down before it picks back up again. Well, we're not producing them quickly, but we are producing 2 at a time, so there's that. Which means we actually have more pressure conversion cubes than we need. Because we were doubling those. I think because I wasn't expecting to be able to double these, I've now got 5 of these, and it'll continue to produce 2 at a time, which means we're going to end up with over 105. So I don't think we have any other use for the conversion cubes, do we? Not currently. Okay. But those might just be alternative recipes for the same thing, or they might be things that we don't actually learn until next phase. So that's fine. The nuclear pasta we don't currently have any use for other than, I mean, it is specific, well, used in question mark. So we already know that next phase we're going to need more. Funny that. Right, thermal propulsion. This is where we need to have this hooked up. I think we need to deconstruct this and put a splitter like this. And then we can go like that, and then that, and then it can go into... apparently not that. Okay, I thought maybe it would fit. Not quite. You know what? How much is this going to use? 14 per minute? How much do you produce? 30 per minute? Easy. There you go. Don't even bother splitting it for the time being. We can worry about reinstating that another time. So, cable will come in here. And then we want quartz crystal. We have a bunch of that in storage. I don't know how much I'm going to need. I have not worked out the maths on this yet. There's one way to find out. Right, so that gets crystal oscillators making again. The key point is that we are doubling them. Yes, we're not making them quickly, but at least it's doubling. Because we need a lot of those to make the control units. We don't have any spare Somersloops at the moment because they're being put into the Part-icle accelerator. Did we still have some over here, like in this? Yeah, we still had these in here. So let's yank those maybe. We've got 28 turbo motors. It's a start. It's not a very big start, but it is a start. While I'm here, let's grab 400 of those, and in fact a couple extra because they can go into the dimensional depot. And then 600 of these. And then we need 200 aluminium sheets, which I believe we have over here. Good. And that will give us Logistics Mark 5. Bang, bang, bang. Bunk.
Milestone reached. Fixit dedicated this milestone to the conveyor belt and lift Mark 5. They may be implying that your factory could be further optimized. While they are correct, I believe they are setting unreasonable expectations. Having all of humanity very definitely relying on your work is a lot of pressure. It's a good thing I'm here.
Uh-huh. It's more the fact that there's not many things where moving at 700 and something units per minute is necessary. Really? That seems a bit extreme. We've got, it's not a spare manufacturer, but let's just mess around with this one a little bit. So that there be the 5262. It's the 262 that's weird. And the 2 is the annoying one. 2 rockets is made by 2. So it actually then becomes 2 to 4, right? Yeah, 2 becomes 4. So we only need enough turbo motors to do 125 iterations. No, 65 iterations. That's right. Yeah. 64 iterations times 2. So we need 128 turbo motors. Okay. Let's put those back in there because I'm going to want them there. 128 turbo motors, and it's 2 to 2, but we're doubling, so 64 radio control units. Okay. 64 radio control units. Doesn't it get like 1 to 4 radio control units? So that's, yeah, I mean doubled. So 64, we only need 16 oscillators, right? Oh. Alright, and in fact we had tons anyway. Okay, so I guess we stop this then, and select this instead. Okay. So now we're going to need the crystal oscillators, and we only need 16 of them, apparently. So of course it splits down to 50. No. Okay, there we go, 16. So let's just put those in. So let's just go bang bang, and then put the aluminium casings in this one so they can be fed through. I need to just put down another manufactory and just make the crystal oscillators and just keep making them. I mean, I do have this, which was technically for SAM fluctuators. I guess it can stay being for that. And this annoying array of containers because, of course, it doesn't fit neatly. So we could have another one for crystal oscillators specifically. Because we can have the cable being fed directly in from over here, potentially. We've already got this splitter down here. We can have another one coming off here and going over the top to come down here. We've got this whole big plain area, so why not? And then we want to have another lifter here, coming this way. There we go. Funny. And then crystal oscillator. There is an alternate too. What's the alternate? No, I want to use cable and plates. That's perfectly fine. So let's chuck in those. And those. So quartz crystal is the one that's just going to be in a container for sure. And then plates I might be able to feed in from somewhere. They have to come in from all the way up here though. Is these containers here, isn't it? This needs to be a double stack instead. I don't have enough space for everything on me right now. But we can just plonk down a container there for now. Just to pull all of these out and put those in. Deconstruct this. Is this paused? No, it's making them. 4 per minute. Okay. It's not making them quickly, but it is making them. Do that, and then that. Right, and I have an amount on me. Right, so now let's put in a double container. It's basically the same place. And then we can have that coming in directly onto that. The copper sheets are still sliding over the top. And then all of you in there. Deconstruct you. And put all of you in there. Okay. So you can do like this here to come over here. Are you visible? You kind of are visible. Okay, so you actually want to come this way. And we can have another container, sure. Why not? We don't need to, but we may as well. So let's do that. And then have you going into that one there. And then have you going up like this, facing this direction. And you should be able to connect up. Perfect. It says you're clipping clearance, but I don't see what. That is perfect. Nice. And then we need to have a place to put our crystal oscillators. Ah, there we go. It's just alongside. Ah, like a glove. Nice. There we go. No way to exit out the back, but we don't need to right now. It'll take a while. It only makes 1 a minute. So now you have been beavering away while I've been off doing that. You have been doing this, so that's nice. Our power is now probably a bit more marginal when the particle accelerator ramps up, but that's also fine. Right, you have finished. Good. Radio control units. Done. Lovely. 64 of those. Cool. Those were all going to be used now for turbo motors. If I'm correct, if I remember rightly. Turbo motors. Right, you there. Pass you in there. We're going to end up with 1 extra. And we're also going to need more motors passed in. I can't even remember why I have that many in there. I thought I put an exact number in. Obviously not. So we've got 28 in here currently. I don't know if they were reserved for anything. But we're going to need more motors and cooling systems. Which is fine because I've got those. So let's just chuck those in there for now and let's find some more motors. This one. Let's just take out a bunch so that it just produces more. Doesn't matter if we have a backlog stuck in a container somewhere. You can just go in here. And how long is that going to take is the next question. So how many do we have currently? We have 34. We need 30 more. And it makes 3 per minute, so it's another 10 minutes. So everything's taking 10 minutes right now. That's kind of amusing. Everything seems to be all 10 minutes. We've got our nuclear pasta zapping away. How many have we got there? 17% of the way there. That'll take slightly more than just 10 minutes. We can actually work that out probably, because it's we need 100. And it only does 2 every 6 minutes. 2 every 6 minutes. It's a lot more than 10 minutes, I'll tell you that. 2 every 6 minutes would be to make 80, so it'll be... It's 1 every 3 minutes, theoretically. To make 80, it's times 3, 240 minutes. Yeah, that's 4 hours, isn't it? Yeah, okay. That's going to take 4 hours unless we can overclock it. Or, like, pull it back up to basic. Not even overclock, but just up to 100%. And to do that, we'd have to free up pretty much our entire power grid, I think. So that's not likely. So you're finished now, so I can clear you, and at least select this so I know what I'm doing, right? And now we have the modular engines coming in, and that should be exactly what we need. So we need 62 would be 124 iterations, which would be one short. But 63 wouldn't work because it's an even number, so it needs to be 64. Okay. So we need 64 fused modular frame. Do I have that in storage right now? I have 66, in fact, in storage right now, so that's perfect. Alright, so you can have that, and then we'll put the rest in there. And technically I can just steal 2 of those and put them away again. And then cooling systems, so if it's 64 for that, then, okay, well then it's 6 to 4, so we need more cooling systems than what we're producing. So we need, what was it, 300 and something. We've got 320, but I'm going to need more to make more turbo motors, potentially. But the rest can just go in here, and we'll see what we have left. We're tuning based on fused modular frames and modular engines currently. Definitely the fused modular frames. I think I made too many modular engines, but that's okay. And I mean, I'm probably going to need more things. And then we can put the turbo motors in, and we can get this started. And hopefully this isn't going to kill our power when this ramps up each time. I can also slow this down even further if I feel I need to. Yeah, so we need another 450 megawatts. Do we have enough now? Ooh. Ooh, it's getting close. Oh, there it is. There it is. We're into capacity. We're into capacity. Is our battery charge going to start dipping? We're firing up our biofuel currently. Yep. Oh, and it's dipped down again, briefly. Because our geothermal started to ramp up again, I think. Is it now finished? No, it's still got 200 megawatts to go. This is fun. I haven't come this close to actually losing power for a long time. We might need to shut something down temporarily. It's appropriate that it's like sparking and everything as it starts to eat into our capacity. We can also just chuck in a bunch more like bio stuff as well, just to give us an extra overhead. Batteries still hasn't been touched. There it is. There's the batteries. This is why we have batteries. Barely. Just barely touched. Time until empty. And now charging again. Okay, but we're just on the edge now. We're right at the threshold. So we can survive with what we're doing at the moment, and we can even underclock these just for the sake of it. I'd rather not, but I can if I want to, or if I feel that I need to. Turbo motors will also be finished soon, because again, we're operating on the idea that everything would take like 10 minutes to finish. So you won't take very long. In fact, we know that 10 minutes passed since doing that because the man finished researching. So we can come down here. What do we got here? Oh, it's the overclocked supercomputer again? Yeah, no, why? I just don't understand why you would want to do that. I also don't care about iron wire. I also... Rubber concrete? Excuse me? Okay, so none of these are good. I think we're dredging the bottom of the barrel now when it comes to hard drives, unfortunately. Do we have enough of these to do some research yet? We do. Nice. Let's get some more Mercer-spheres out, because I have a bunch of them. And get some more alien technology. I think I would rather have faster upload speed than more stacks, still. So let's do that. 120 per minute. Nice.
Dimensional upload speed increased. The dimensional shift now no longer cares how complex the components of the original part are, and will save each part as a single collection of particles that can be instanced easily.
Whatever that means.
Group shift the body core flow cycle song of the 5-layered shallow state.
I'm working on it, but are you saying there is another layer? Is it a sensor limitation?
Deepen.
Helpful.
You know, I can actually put the Mercer spheres in this container as well, come to think of it. Leave them down the bottom. Put them back in there. So we need 199 now for the next tier, or another 151 for the other side. But the upload speed is now super fast, which is nice. So how are you going? I wish I could overclock this. I could, but I think everything will explode if I do. This is, I mean, I was so secure about my power previously, but now that we've got that thing working, now we're touching the threshold again. Now, there is also more coal that I could expand over there. There's more, like, oil I can turn into fuel. The problem with the fuel one is that there's no way to do it cleanly. Like, I'm only making fuel because of byproducts. Well, no, I'm making fuel pure, but then I have the resin as a byproduct instead. And then I need to use something else, and then I can make more plastic, but I don't need more plastic. I'm kind of at the tipping point on that. So it's a bit weird in some ways. I feel there should be a cleaner way, but apparently not. Yeah, otherwise more geothermal, more coal. If I double the coal over here, I can't remember how much I was producing. It was like 70 or 80 per thing, and times 6, I think. So even that was only like 500 megawatts for all that effort that I put into it. Just doesn't seem like worth much when you just slap in one more pure geothermal, which I have there. But otherwise you just put in more batteries as the other option. If we put in more battery capacity, then it doesn't matter if there's a big swing, because you use it to power or to charge the batteries. Ultimately, we're just waiting at this point, because I feel constrained by power again, strangely. I could also just shut down my train, and that saves 100 megawatts or something. There's quite a few things that I could just shut down temporarily. So you know what? I know that I need more cooling systems, or I'm fairly sure that I need more cooling systems, so I should go and fetch those while I'm waiting. And here we go. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm still doubling this. Oops, I don't really need to do that, I don't think. Oh yeah, I really did. Okay, that'll reduce our power drain quite significantly. Like, we're providing enough heat sinks and stuff to do that. We don't need to double that. That's crazy. Okay, well let's take a couple more stacks of these back, but I don't need that many of them now, I don't think. Whee! Need to remember to jump when I get out of that. Alright, you're now finished. 58. Wait, that's not enough. Oh, but I have tons. Okay, that's more than enough now, I think. I only needed... Was this what I needed 64 for as well, I think? But that reduces our power load by another 100 or so. So now we shouldn't dip into our batteries, I don't think, at all. Wait, but I already had some. Oh, but you're running out. No, because it was the fused modular frame was the thing that I'm tuning with. That's the 2 to 4. Because, yeah, because we need 126, basically, of these to make... No. Yes, because it's 2 to 4. 126 to make 250. It'll be 252. But, yeah, 126. So we need the same amount of turbo motors. So how many do we have? So you... 48. Okay. 48 and 48? Wait, so that's just perfect then? So we didn't need as many of these as I thought. Is that correct? I don't even know. I have to trust that things were correct. I think I had more in storage than I realized. I think we're good. I think now is probably a good time to finish up. We don't have any more milestones to research at the moment until we get into phase 4. Research, we forgot to set a hard drive going for some reason. I don't know why, because I don't have anything else that I can really research right now. Not until I get another ton of these. So let's just set a hard drive going, and we'll have that remind us to come back and check on that next time. For now, I think we've made a lot of good progress again. Once again, it's just a testament to how well you can do things when you don't get super distracted by stuff that doesn't matter, like nuclear power and trains. So, with that behind us, yeah, the only other thing would be to maybe increase some power overhead so we could pull this back up closer to full capacity so that we don't have to wait as long for things to finish. And yeah, that might be the focus of the start of the next episode, simply so that it can go faster, because otherwise, yeah, it's going to take another like 3.5 hours to actually finish the phase 4. And that's the thing, is it's easy enough to harness all of the resources. I say easy enough, it's a bit of a headache sometimes, but harnessing the resources and getting the production set up is not the worst part of it. It's a case of how fast you want things to go. Do you want to double production with Somersloops and stuff in order to make things quicker? Or do you want to be able to overclock things, which means you need to be able to feed them faster? So it all kind of comes into that as to how quickly you want things to happen. I mean, if we want this to happen faster, we're probably going to need to double our copper powder production again as well. So it's probably not worth the hassle, quite frankly. Anyway, we're getting close to, I wouldn't say the end, but we're getting close to the final phase, which is nice. But we'll pick this up again another time. For now, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.